Now we looked at the technologies that we use to create this 2-minute intro. I was mainly looking at Final Cut, which is the editing software to piece together all the footage. And the main things we looked at were reducing the size of the clips, changing saturation and brightness to make it look like it is in nighttime or black and white, made a darker feel. The credits was one of the main things we had to implement because we needed to put in the composition, the style, the colour, and sound bleeding to make the conversation feel natural and flowing. So here is the cutting, which was just simply putting your cursor over the footage, which you needed to cut, and then trimming start or end to get rid of excess footage. Then the credits was, we composed it in the bottom right corner, and we kept it there to keep it consistent, because we felt like that would represent a real media product. And then here is sound bleeding by just detaching audio and putting it over the different clips. And the colour balance by doing colour boards and changing hue, saturation and brightness.
Okay, so throughout the whole process I was in charge of the camera, and at first I thought it was an easy task. So I had to make sure that shots like over the shoulder shot, high angle, low angles, 2 shots were always there, and make sure that they're appropriate and there's an eye-line match. We tried using zoom in and zoom out, but we realised that it would reduce the quality, so therefore we usually managed to put the camera closer to the character's face in order to make the quality at its best. Then also, as you saw at the beginning, there was a tracking shot of the victim walking along the alleyway. So it was a hard process of trying to find what to actually use. For example, we could have used dolly, but in reality, when we realised we couldn't because of the surface that we were filming on, so we had to come up with another idea or a way to create a tracking shot. There were a lot of tracking shots examples on YouTube on how to create them with a tripod. They were good in the way that you can use them if you have a still tracking shot, but if someone's walking, it's really difficult. So therefore, at the end of it, we came up with the idea of the monopod and having a camera on it. It was an upside down shot, but it was sort of easy to flip it back up to the normal side when we were editing.
So I was in charge of After Effects for our presentation and created the industry logo as well as title. Throughout this, I learned the basic tools and elements of After Effects as well as techniques that special effects workers use. I learned how to animate text movement and how to animate objects basically. Also learned how to utilize the timeline to increase timing or reduce it to create different effects. The main effect I spent most time on was the supernova effect you saw for our industry nova. To create that, I learned that layering is actually a key tool used in After Effects as well as many other Adobe software. So I created these 3 effects here and layered them over to create the top one. Most of this effect is use something called fractal noise, which gives it the kind of fiery glow that you see. And I use this by editing brightness of each of the clips and editing the amount of particles in the fractal noise and layer them over each other. I use the timeline here to increase and decrease the speeds of each of the supernovas to make it seem as if it's more of a growing O than just something that appears.